Good morning, what's up 819S? Today, riding to work again. It's another beautiful day in Tokyo. I don't know the temperature now. I'd say it's probably 18-19 degrees. I think it's going to get up to 20 something again today. It's definitely nice. Trying a little different setup with the camera today. I feel like the POV is the one that I prefer, but I guess we'll see how this one plays out. I got another comment on my video from yesterday. Thank you very much. It's like, I believe it just said I want to come to Japan someday. Man, you definitely should. If you have a motorcycle license, there's a lot of great touring that you can do. If you just want to come here to go sightseeing and enjoy some Japanese food and stuff like that, it's also a great place. I'd be coming midsummer though. I think a lot of people can't really handle the summer here. It gets really hot, really humid. If you're from a really warm or tropical place, maybe it's a little bit more acceptable. But man, if you're not used to the heat, it's definitely scorcher in summer. And I think it's really not the heat specifically. I think it's really the humidity. But I guess last year or the year before that, there were record number of days over 30 degrees. So I think around 30, high 30s is probably the highest temperature you're going to find on a normal day-to-day basis. My camera. Today I filled up. I think it was 180 kilometers ridden since my last fill up. I always reset my trip odometer. 180 kilometers ridden since the last fill up, and 3.4. Let's make sure this is as tight as it can be. Okay. 3.4 liters of gas. So it's pretty efficient. What does that work out to? Like 50 something? 57 kilometers, 56 kilometers per liter. I think the Genski is definitely the way to go for the commute. I don't remember what my CRF gets off the top of my head. It's changed a bit from time to time. Yeah. Depending on the maintenance condition and whatever. But it's usually pretty good. As far as touring and visiting Japan, there's so many places on my bucket list. I barely scratched the surface of where I want to go in Japan. I think next up would be Venus Line for me. I'm hoping to do that this summer. Venus Line is a gorgeous place in Nagano. After that, I would say probably Kenny Road is a place I want to go. I want to go to the Super Rindo in Shikoku. I want to go to Hokkaido. I heard Raibun Island is great. I know a lot of these places maybe are unfamiliar to a lot of people. Kenny Road is a road named after a famous motorcycle racer. It goes around Mount Aso in Kyushu. Kenny Roberts, yeah. And yeah, It's supposed to be really beautiful, really scenic, really, really great place. So I'd like to go there. The Super Rindo in Shikoku is, well, a rindo is a mountain pass. Basically, wow, something's loose again. Where? Basically like a service road or something like that. And the Super Rindo, as the name implies, super, is a really, really long one. So the Shikoku Super Rindo is, I believe it's about 89.2 or something like that. It's like about 90 kilometers of road. And generally rindos are long sections of forest road, sometimes paved, sometimes stone, sometimes gravel, and usually no houses or no buildings nearby. Sometimes there's a facility inside, that's why the mountain road is there, so it's like a antenna or what is it called, a pylon for electrical wires or something like that. It's for the utility services to go in there and do maintenance. Depending on the area, it could be for like wind turbines and stuff like that too. But yeah, the service road is basically just there to access the mountain for people who need to get in there, and they're typically accessible by the public, but I think ordinary people have no real purpose or reason to go in there, so you find that not so many people do. Hikers and people who want to get into the wilderness access, they want to get in a little bit deeper so they don't have as difficult of a hike or whatever, to give them a better starting point. And I saw one out this way that, man, it's creeping. Ugh. I saw one out this way where there's like people who do bouldering and rock climbing. There's like a nice wall, a nice face that people who go bouldering and climbing, I guess mountain climbing would be better. They have a rope set up and rappelling gear and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think there's all different reasons why people might want to access mountains. And the Super Rindo, I think, is going to be gorgeous. I really, really think so. It's basically endless mountains, gorgeous, for 90 kilometers. Obviously, you have to be careful with gas. I don't know where the gas stations are near there. I think my CRF gets 200 kilometers on one tank, so if I'm not careful, I'd end up running out of gas or having to refill. So bringing a small gas can with me is a good idea. There is an interesting thing to note though, if you are a rider in Japan and you want a gas can. I don't know the actual punishment. I should be a little bit more diligent and look this up, but you cannot fill up a gas can by yourself at a gas station. I always took the warning as being not so serious. I've filled up my own gas can once or twice, but like I said, I absolutely do not recommend it to anyone. A big red gas can, like a 20-30 liter one, something like that, they will definitely notice you. You'll probably get punished for it. Again, I believe it's a fine, but more or less what you have to do. More or less what you have to do is have the gas station attendant fill it up for you. You can't fill it up yourself. But I'm gonna pause for 1 second here. I'm not gonna actually stop the live stream, but I do wanna pull over over and see if I can tighten up this bolt so that it doesn't keep slipping like it is. Alright, hopefully that makes it a little bit better. Let's see. GoPro mounts can be finicky. It really depends on the brand. If you buy an off-brand one, they're sometimes made of a plastic that's a little bit slipperier than standard GoPro stuff. But I think in some cases, like I have a RAM mount that I'm using to hold this into place. The RAM mount is not an official GoPro mount, so there's no real other options. I tend to use the official GoPro stuff when I can. Did it fall again? It feels like it did. Yeah, I tend to use the official GoPro stuff when I can because I think it's sturdier. But I have had some official GoPro stuff break on me too, so yeah. There's a fine line between securely tightened and over tightened. Great day for a ride. I think tomorrow is going to be my first challenge. Tomorrow is going to be a rainy day. The weather forecast is still calling for rain. I have a few ideas of how I'm going to set it up, but I think it'll mostly be alright. I'm not worried about my commute. I've done the commute in the rain hundreds and hundreds of times. But I think I'm worried about trying to do the live stream in the rain. Day at work, had 12 lessons. Today I guess we'll have to wait and see. But busy days. Wow, there's a rare thing. Again, I think POV is probably the best camera angle. This is good to mix it up from time to time, I suppose, but car in front of me has a license plate from Sapporo. So I said the places I wanted to go, Venus Line, Kenny Road, Super Rindo, and then Hokkaido. I don't have a specific road or a specific place in Hokkaido, but there's a place called Reibun Island I've heard is really, really nice. It's a little island that's kind of off the northern coast of Hokkaido. And I think there's like some old-fashioned schools and stuff there. And I think, if my memory is correct, there was a school there, but unfortunately the school is going to end up closing because School's going to end up closing because there aren't enough kids there anymore. Birth rate and population is declining in Japan, so I think that's kind of unfortunate, but I believe they're going to use the school for some kind of tourist experience or something like that, so I think they're going to try to keep the island alive as much as they can. So it's a place I'd like to go. It was recommended by 2 or 3 of my friends who have gone touring through Hokkaido. Yeah. Hokkaido, I heard it's kind of like a holy grail almost. It's just beautiful scenery, delicious food. Oh. Beautiful scenery, delicious food, great seafood, great beef, great vegetables, great fruit, a little bit of everything that's just really, really wonderful. So Hokkaido is the place. One thing I've experienced riding in Chiba, in Chiba you can find a lot of really straight roads, and they're, I want to say boring, but it's boring in comparison to other places. I rode out there a few times because I met up with another YouTuber, and not that I'm a YouTuber, but because I met up with another YouTuber, and yeah, he said he kind of really preferred the places in the mountains and places out near me because the roads are so windy and the views changed from time to time, whereas the places out by him were just really straight, long roads. And I have a feeling Hokkaido has a lot of that, where it's just really long, straight roads that can get boring if they're not new to you, but if they're new to you, they're probably really fun. You know what I mean? So it's one of the places that I've been dying to go. And I have another friend, he goes there every year, and I'm jealous every year. I think Hokkaido is also a great place for camping, moto camping. So the friend that I have that goes every year, he usually packs up sleeping bag, tent, all his camping gear, and he goes there as a camping trip. Or he goes there on a camping trip. One of the crazy things about Hokkaido is, depending on where you go, I think actually a lot of places in Hokkaido this might be true, but depending on where you go, you could actually encounter a bear. I was watching a cyclist YouTube video a long time ago, and the 2 cyclists were riding, I believe the title of the video was something like riding from Tokyo to Hokkaido, something like that. And like 3/4 of the way into the video, they show like it almost seems like a close-up of a bear, and then a few seconds after that it seems like they were riding really fast, and then later they said the bear chased us. And he's like, yeah, of course, what do you think, it's a wild bear. I had a similar monkey experience the first time I saw monkeys. There was just a huge group of monkeys, and they were chilling. They were eating the last of the food for the season, I think. The trees were kind of becoming really barren. And I know they're gonna chase you. I know that it's dangerous. I know that it's not good to approach wild animals. But I couldn't help myself. I wasn't trying to get really close, like within arm's distance, but I wanted to get close enough where the photo would come out a little more detailed, a little more beautiful, a little more clear. And I creeped up closer and closer to the monkey, and I'd say, how far? 20 meters? I was planning to go just maybe 2 or 3 more steps closer, but 20-30 meters from him, 20 meters, let's just call it that. He kind of freaked out and threw his arms up and started squawking, and that was it. I ran away. At the time I had all my gear on. I had my gloves on, I had my jacket, I had bike pants with protectors, I had my helmet on still. I wasn't going to be attacked by a wild monkey, but there's still, you know, I got some skin right here. It could have gone for my neck. You gotta protect your neck. But yeah, I know enough not to mess with wildlife, but I think the idea of getting really close to a bear or stopping to take a video of a bear, it's lunacy, I think. But anyways, I think you can definitely encounter bears if you go for rides through the countryside and the wilderness in Hokkaido. And there have been more and more bear sightings, so I think even northern Japan, Akita, Aomori, places like that, it's not impossible to run into a bear or to come across a bear in your travels. If you're in the cities, you're mostly going to, obviously. And I come across wild animals even in the Tokyo area. There's a small animal called a tanuki, which is called a raccoon dog in English. There's a hakubishin, which is I believe it's a palm mask civet. There's I've run across snakes so many times that I can't even count. And I think it's funny because I know people who have lived here forever, and they have never seen the animals that I see. I've seen wild cats a lot too. I just see wild animals all the time. It's surprising, I guess. I kind of think though, like if I go on a ride with my wife and I will be in the same places, and we see more or less the same experiences. We don't ride that far apart from each other. We're usually within 3 to 5 meters of each other most of the time. Maybe 10, 15, 20 at most. We typically don't ride a few hundred meters or a kilometer away from each other. And if we do ride, if we do stop at a stop sign or something like that, we typically wait for the other person. So, yeah. And even though I'm there and I see it, and I'll even point it out in some cases, my wife can't see it. So I made a YouTube short once where I saw sero, kamoshika, Japanese kamoshika, in the wild. And the buddy I was riding with didn't see it, so we rode past it again and he still didn't see it. And I rode past it again and he finally saw it the third time. So I don't know, I just think people's perception of what's there is a little different from person to person. So, yeah. Alright, well, I'm at the parking lot now. For anyone who's watching, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next time. Ride safe.